Hello, hello everyone, welcome. This is the third and final part of my Happy Thanksgiving page out of Autumn Charm by Teresa Goodridge. I also seen today that Dover is giving away this page as a freebie. So if you're interested, you go to the Dover Publications Facebook and they have it up there. I will also put the link to the post down below, but I'm not sure how to get it to you if you don't use Facebook. It's the only thing. So anyway, if you don't have the book and you are interested in participating that way, you can print it off. So the only thing I did off camera was I finished up my leaves, and I forgot to do this little guy here, but I'll get him. And then I played with my corn and my two leaves here just to kind of show you the look I'm going for and how mine is going to play out. I'm going to give him a nice dark kind of ring around him so the rest of this stands out a little. So you can decide if you like that or not. I did decide to go with the regular yellow corn to tie in this yellow I put back here. So yeah, I'm going to bring it down a little and we'll get started. Okay, so I'm going to do a little of each just to kind of show you what I have going on. So for these leaves at the bottom, I pulled some browns and some reds. So I have chestnut, scarlet red, which is what I used on the leaves and the letters and the berries. I'm trying to think. And then I used my, actually I used pumpkin orange and then yellow ochre. So each one is going to look a little different. Again, I don't want my leaves to look exactly the same because in nature they don't look exactly the same. They don't all change colors exactly the same, but I want their feel to be the same. I want to know that these are all kind of the same leaves off the same tree. Whereas up here, these ones look different. So first thing I did was bring in my chestnut and color the center. Now I did use chestnut on his head, so I do want to be careful that I don't like lose his head in my leaves here. I'm gonna do a couple of these at a time just because for me it goes quicker. And I was trying to get this up before Thanksgiving and I failed because it's after midnight. So for those of you that were hoping, sorry, cooking today took a little longer than I thought. That's okay. So this is pumpkin orange. And on these ones I have a little bit of red, so I am going to add red, but I do want to do a couple of these with this nice orange look next to this pumpkin. I kind of like that. Okay, red. And with that little bit of orange kind of peeking through, it just kind of helps it tell apart from this leaf where I didn't add any orange on the bottom, or red on the bottom. So some of them I'm going to take the red all the way up to the top. Some of them I'm going to do just barely a little at the bottom. Whatever I'm feeling. And then I'm not going to necessarily cover my red, but I do want to make sure before I go to my next color I have a little of this for blending. Okay, and then yellow ochre. So this leaf is going to have a lot more yellow on it. And I might even come back in with a dark brown a little. And just kind of shade the edge of the leaf so that my yellow stands out a little more. Just kind of playing with them as I go. And I'm going to add just a touch more orange to this because I feel like it's a little bright. Even on that one where I didn't leave a lot of room for yellow, I'm still going to kind of go over and blend it with yellow. Now I'm taking, this is burnt umber. I'm going to try to keep my hand out of the way so you can see, but my pencil is tiny. And I'm going to fill in the center of these leaves just a little bit darker, so I get that nice rich contrast. Now I put the chestnut down so that when I put my other colors over it, it would kind of pull that chestnut and give it an overall nice brownie feel. But for the actual stem center itself, I'm going to darken. So that is going to be those leaves. So there is one side of my turkey. And of course I did the opposite side, I did the corn on, to give you an overall finished effect, but I will work on a couple corns over here. So for corns, I pulled artichoke, lime peel, yellow ochre, and then I have a couple splashes of brown here and there, depending on what you're going for. And then of course my yellow in the center is yellow, canary yellow, and I just deciding where I want to start here. Clean my tip on this eraser real quick. Okay. So I'm going to just start right next to it. And the first thing I'm going to do is put down a light layer of yellow ochre. So I will do that on all my corn. And this is just so that we kind of have an even base. One doesn't come out more greenish than the other or anything, because we have a consistent base all the way across. The texture might come out a little different. How this one has a line and shadow, this one has a yellow spot, but they should be the same color mostly. Then I'm going to take that artichoke, and this is just kind of where I want some darker. So right up next to that corn, I'm going to shadow around his head, whatever we got going on with this piece here. Notice I'm kind of going around that leaf real good. Around here. And I really like this artichoke color in the fall palette. To me, it's like, it's a nice way to bring in green without bringing in like a bright, you know, apple or springy green when we're trying to stick with this more fall-y type palette. Okay, this is lime peel, and I'm not going to bring a whole lot of lime peel in. So a couple highlight spots. Okay, now you can kind of see where we're going to go in and add some shadows. You can do this with a darker gray, you can do, or green, not gray, sorry, darker green, like if you had a moss green or something. Olive green, I have an olive green here. But see how it's just a little touch too bright? So I'm going to do brown, and again, mine is dark brown. And I'm not going to erase that green I tried. I'm just going to cover it. It'll still give us a nice little touch of green in our fall feel here. Again, getting around that corn real good. Around his head so it looks like he's got a little shadow. So it doesn't leave a huge difference. It's not like super dark, but it's enough. And I'm just brightening up my yellow on here because I feel like I got lost a little and I didn't fix it. This is canary yellow, and it will not stay this bright. And if you like it this bright, you can leave it. Just kind of blends all my colors, get rid of any lines, adds a little highlight touch here and there. Okay, and then anywhere it's a little too bright, we can go over with that ochre. Yellow ochre. Right, so there is our corn husks on our pumpkin turkey. Must be past my bedtime. I can't even talk. I still feel like I almost want just a touch of darker green in a couple spots, so I'm gonna look for. I have a dark green, but I feel like that's going to be. Let's try marine green. Marine green. Okay, and then this is kind of the part where I just add in a couple spots if I need to, just kind of dirty it up. So like right here I don't really need nothing, but like on this one here I'm going to add a little streak of darker. This one, because it's in the back, I might darken a little. So this step is unnecessary unless you're like me and unhappy with your corn. Again, I want to do it to all of them because I don't want any more one corn to look different than any of the rest. Nobody gets left out. And now we're going to put in our yellow. Now I did do canary yellow, but I dimmed it down with some dark brown because I didn't want like a bright band of yellow going through and pulling my eye toward the corn and nothing else. I'm trying to still keep my page balanced as to where the eye is pulled. So I went ahead and covered all the corn in yellow. Okay, sorry about that. Anyways, I'm going to put all my corn in at once. And I actually kind of want to put all my husks in at once too, but we're going to go. And this is just kind of so we can make sure that like they're not blending in with the background, they're sticking out, the yellow's showing through, like everybody can be seen, kind of feel. So just a layer of canary yellow, and we'll build off it from there. I'm fixing a couple white spots I seen in between. So one more here. And then I'm going to do that one separate, and I might make that one Indian corn. Okay. With my sharp yellow ochre and yellow ochre to start. I see a couple spots on that one I want to fix that are bugging me. Okay. I'm just going to go around the edges where creating shadow, basically. Okay, with this brown, I'm going to go over that, but I am also going to very finely outline the kernels. You don't have to do all, you can do some, you can do clusters. My suggestion is to just start and see what you like. Maybe you don't like the brown, you want to do yellow, you want to bring orange into your corn. You know, if you have a nice, pretty, bright yellow, you can add it that way. I really was wanting to try some Indian corn, but the more I thought about it on this page, the more I worried the blobs of random colors right here in the middle of the page would affect the rest. So I was like, you know what, I better leave enough alone. But now I want to find a picture I can do Indian corn in. Okay, so same thing, working my way around. And these two look a little different, and that's just because I kind of came back and blended this one out with my yellow ochre so it wasn't so bright, but I kind of like that one, so I'm going to leave it. Same thing. Just touch them with your brown till you see fit. That one's got a little brown on it, so we're going to just smooth that out. That part's going to be shadowed anyway because it's behind a leaf. So we're just going to play with what's already there. I'm going with my dark brown now. This just creates a little bit of shadow. Makes it feel like the corn is behind and the husks are forward. Alright, I think we're looking good. Quickly, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do for my background. Okay, these are the Distressed Watercolor Pencils by Tim Holtz. They are not exactly like regular watercolor pencils, so if you want to do watercolor pencils in your background, you can, but just letting you know that I'm not using mine as watercolor pencils today, I should say. So I am going to, and I don't have a video up or a review on these or anything. I just got them. I haven't really played with them. There's a ton of videos out there kind of telling you what they are and what they're about and things, but there's not a lot actually using them. There's a lot of like card maker ones, but not a lot in coloring books. So I will work on some backgrounds with them, and as I get more comfortable, I will kind of put videos up, but just kind of checking them out. We're going to see how they do on this paper. So just like a crayon, or in my case, this is how I use my distressed, or not my distressed ink, my Inktense. I'm going to color it on. These are thick like a crayon. They are kind of heavy, but they don't have the feeling that I'm going to snap them, which I like. Because like with Crayolas, I got a bad habit of snapping them because I'm heavy-handed. And I am going to put down a fairly good layer. Now this is not going to look like this, so I'm going to put a little more than I think I need. I'm also not going to use water on mine. Okay, sorry, leg cramp. I'm also not going to use watercolor or water on mine. They do work great as watercolors, but I don't want this paper crinkly. This is thin paper, and the water I would use on it, it would crinkle so bad. So I'm not going to use water. I'm going to use an alcohol blender marker, which is also what I do on my Inktense. With Inktense, it does not bleed through the paper, so it'll be interesting to see if it does with these or not. If you have pastels or a light colored pencil or light brown marker, whatever you're feeling, that works too, but I just wanted to play. I'm going to turn this just for a second so I can get up here on the top. Now the thing about blending with alcohol marker is if you have any pencil like right there, where you hit it, it will streak it. So you know, if you have like where I have this red right here, it's going to leave a red. Will smear your pencil ink. So we want to be aware of that. But I want to have, it doesn't have to be a perfect layer, but I do want kind of an even layer. Make sure I'm getting everywhere. Now I am going to do my ground down here, but I am going to come back over and add pencil to it so it's a little darker and you can tell the ground from my background. And also this is looking a little orangey. It's not going to be as orangey after I do it. So you might wait until I blend mine out here with my marker to see if you like this color. I don't know if I mentioned mine, if you are using these, and I think I have set three, mine is Wild Honey. If you have the distressed inks, the little squares, they do match exactly, which is neat. So if you need to use your inks for the larger areas and touch up with these pencils, that works great. I don't have very many of those because they're expensive. So I ordered a set of these to play with and see what I think. Now they do come in 3 sets, so like I didn't get a black or anything in mine. I think that's set 1, which makes it a little harder because I could almost use a dark brown in here, would be great, especially for this page. But okay, this is Frayed Burlap, and I'm just kind of putting in a couple shadows. And they're not gonna blend and you're not gonna get all the white out. I just want to add a little to a couple spots here where I want things a little darker. I skipped that with the first one altogether. So just a couple spots where I want a little shadow. Putting it in darker, like around these leaves and things. And you can always come back and shade with pencil too, which is probably what I will do a lot of. But again, it's nice to get a layer down so you don't have to use so much to hide the paper underneath. Now, these are not like watercolors in the sense that if you get them wet and set them, you cannot come in with water and move them again. When they're set, they are set. So be aware that you want to have everything kind of how you want it before you more or less make it permanent. Okay, trying to make sure everything looks. I'm gonna add a little over here in the corner. And then I'm going to grab a marker. I use a blender marker out of the Azure set because I can get these at Walmart and I don't have to wait for Amazon to deliver, because lately my Amazon's like taking a week or longer to get to me, and that was before like Christmas rush and everything. I want to make sure my tip's clean, which doesn't really matter because this was the last color I used it on. We're going to move these to the side here. And let's see, let me see where I'm at. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I'm going to put a paper under just in case we have bleed through. Since it is alcohol marker. Being very careful again, because if I get that pencil on my marker, I'm going to smear it, and I don't want like a too large of orange or red streak. A little one wouldn't be hard to hide, but and it just comes out so nice. This is my favorite way to do ink tints too. I don't know why. I need to play with my ink tints more. It's so much easier, and it doesn't crinkle your paper. It stays flat. There is no bleed through whatsoever. But again, if you have any rough spots, like you want to get out right away, because once it dries and sets, you cannot set it up again. So you can go back over and add more pencil, which in this case would hide ours, but easy around the berries and that red, and you can see where I pulled a little, but that's okay. Again, we can bring in a pencil and we can shade a little darker around these and hide any little mishaps we have. And I know I'm pulled in, so you might not be able to see this whole section I'm blending out. I'm going to washi tape my border, so you will see a little. I'm not worried about that. I have a cute I was gonna say I have a cute Thanksgiving border, but actually I might just go red or brown. A nice dark brown would be pretty with this one. So I might not use my Thanksgiving one anyway. Okay, now I'm just making sure I got any of the white areas that got skipped. And there is our background. My Happy Thanksgiving, I think personally I'm going to leave white. You could go around it with yellow, black, purple, what have you, but I do like the contrast of the white. I will fix her eyes with some gel pen, and these leaves up here I'm going to do the same. So other than this little section I need to finish on my turkey and the leaves and the corn down here, that is going to be pretty much my turkey. So I hope all of you that are celebrating, I know not everyone does, and I know Australia does not, but all of you that are celebrating, off camera celebrating, have a fantastic Thanksgiving tomorrow. If not, I hope you have a great day anyway. Questions, comments, requests, please let me know. And keep an eye out for a finished piece. It'll be in my completed pages, but I will also post it on my Facebook and Instagram if you need to see it in its entirety if you get stuck. But like these leaves, I will do the same as these ones up here, and same with these ones. They'll all be orange and red. So other than that, we went over how to do everything together. Let me pull out a little. Sorry for the wiggle. All right, so there is my page almost finished. This was a super fun one. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, any questions, comments, or requests like that, please let me know, and I hope to see you for the next video and for completed pages. Thanks for watching. Bye.